Today, I'm with Leslie. She's a small business owner, vendor here in Sandy. She makes 2D printing stuff. Leslie, nice to meet you again.
You too.
Tell me your story.
My son bought a 3D printer when he was 18, and this just kind of snowballed from there. We now have 6 printers that we just go through and print a lot of fun little toys for kids and adults and stuff that way.
Whoa. So your son dragged you into the business?
And he just had it because he got it for the fun of it. And then it's just like, oh, well, we can do this as a business, and just went from there.
Yeah, I know a lot of people do 2D printing just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
How did it transition to not just for fun, but I want to bring them to the market to sell them? Did you guys always have that in mind? Or?
No, not at all. It was more so just something to do and trying to get money to feed a hobby and a habit. So if you want to do more, you kind of have to sell some of it so you can actually get more money so you can buy more things. So if you start with a cheap little printer and you want to go up to like a $3,000 printer, you got to have something to be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, you say you have 6 printers now?
Uh-huh.
Wow. So let's talk about the stuff you make. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
This is
Mrs. Claus.
Mrs. Claus. Beautiful. And tell me about it. How do you make this?
It is, so we pay through Patreon for different designers. We don't do anything that is like commercially that's copyrighted or anything that way. That's one thing that we definitely stay away from. And we try to support other designers, so other small designers, and pay for them to be able to use their designs. So then we go through and we print whatever different things that they come up with. This one is done by, the name of the designer is Koza Designs, and they come up with a whole bunch of different things that we pick different ones from them and from other designers, and that's what we print.
Okay, so you guys don't necessarily design it.
No.
But you guys go to, like you say, support a small business, and then you download that copy into the 2D printing machine. Is that correct?
Yeah, so you have to like do it on your computer, set up different things, and then that sends it to the printer, and then the printer then prints from there for you.
Explain to me the materials of this, because I'm assuming you use raw materials before it become.
Yeah, so
how does the process work?
You can buy it all, like we buy all of it from Amazon, just because that's the easiest and cheapest place to buy it. There's many different brands that we use, but it's called PLA. It's a filament that it's just like a big spool of plastic, basically, and it's in a string, and then that gets fed into the machine, and then the machine goes through and melts it, and it prints it from whatever the flat side is all the way up. So it is many, 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 many layers going up to build whatever it is.
This looks very small. Mm-hmm. How long does the machine take to make something like this?
So that one particularly, just because there's so many color changes in it, we printed on a plate. I want to say there's like 90 of them on a plate, and it takes about a day and a half.
A day and a half?
Yeah. Because there's a constant color change. You can get something that
what is your electricity bill?
It could be worse. You could get something that's like this, where it's just one solid color, except for like the eyeballs where it changes, and this will print a lot faster than something this way because it's not having to color change for every layer.
And when you have a machine going on like this, how do you guys maintenance them, or do you check on them every few hours to make sure it's working? How do you do that?
They have an app that I can just look at really quick, and it has a camera that's in the printer, so I can just check to make sure that it's not having issues. But the machines also tell me if there's issues, and if I'm at work or somewhere else, I can pause it or tell it to stop or something that way if I need to.
Let's say it was the machine stopped. Mm-hmm. When you come home, does it resume from where it left, or does it destroy everything?
As long as it hasn't completely killed the print, like something hasn't happened where it's just destroyed it, because that happens sometimes. If it's just fine because, say, it ran out of filament or something that way, you can just put it in and restart it, and it just continues right where it's at. And
I'm assuming you just read the manual and then you figured it out yourself, or did you already have it?
YouTube works really well too.
YouTube is the best university. It's cheaper.
Exactly.
And how many designs do you have, or do you have a set amount that you always print every month or every week?
It kind of changes all the time. Like we definitely only do the holiday ones during whatever holidays. We have some for Halloween, for Christmas. We have mostly just like regular animals that we do for the rest of the year. We usually have about 36 different in this size, or we have a bigger size that I want to say we're like 48-ish that we do. And we kind of change things out when they don't sell anymore, that we take them, that we don't make them anymore, and maybe bring in a newer animal or something that way that the designers have come up with.
Fair enough. And how long have you been going to those markets now?
This is our third year.
Oh,
third or fourth year.
You've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
Did you come to the farmer markets, or
we've been at the Sandy farmer markets? Okay. Yeah.
How is the farmer market compared to a one-day event like this, based on your experience?
Farmers market definitely ebbs and flows, just because they're really popular at the beginning of the year, but then just because it's summer, everybody's on vacations and stuff that way, that they don't necessarily go to the farmers markets because they're not in town.
Okay.
And so it definitely slows down by the end of the year. And then you've got school starting. And once school starts, then you get more people that come up. So it kind of depends, like which ones are better. Right now, everybody's buying for the holidays. So people are buying a lot more than what they normally would. So it just depends.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like farmer market because it's consistency. And you can tell your customer to, hey, I'm going to be at the market on Saturday from 9 to 1 or whatever. Mm-hmm. They can always come.
Right.
And I know people like that compared to a one-day event where if they don't find your advertisement on Facebook, then they don't know where you're going to be.
Correct.
And especially with those one-day event, it's short, it's not like 6 hours, like 2.5 hours. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people complain. It's like, oh, by the time I set up to take down, that would take longer than me selling my items.
It is
and
a lot.
Of people don't go to it.
Yeah, but it's like if you have a website or anything, like we have one, but I always say go to the website to see what we have, but don't necessarily buy from there, because then you have to pay shipping, you have to pay all the extra stuff. Whereas if I can arrange to pick it up, you to come and pick it up somewhere around the area, then you don't have to pay shipping.
Yeah,
and it saves everybody a little bit of money, because then I'm not having to take the time to package it all and everything.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I sell some candles. I always tell my local customer, just text me in Facebook Messenger. Mm-hmm. I can meet you somewhere. You can get it. You don't need to. There's no reason for shipping.
Exactly.
With 3D printing, a lot of the thing that I see is there's a popularity of 2D printing lately.
Very much so.
I feel like a lot of people. What is your take on that?
There's a lot of people that do it. And I think a lot of it just depends on what quality they do it with, because you can make them to where they're super cheap and they look like they're cheap, or you can make them to where they actually look like they're decent. So it just kind of depends on the person that's printing them and what they're trying to do. If you can see something, you can see a lot of the lines through it, like very distinctly, because you're going to see lines because they're there anyways. But if they're like thicker lines, they're going on the cheap. It's probably going to break a lot sooner.
Yeah. What would you tell to a first-time vendor? What advice would you give them?
For 3D printers or for
any kind of vendors?
Go in with low expectations to start out with. Just because if you go in with high expectations, depending on what market you go to, is going to be very different. And one market might be really good and another market might be really bad. So go in with that. You want the higher expectations, but don't put your expectations too high to begin with, and slowly work it up from there. When we first started, I was happy if I got like $150 a week, and it's like, hallelujah, we're good. Now, depending on which market I go to, it's thousands of dollars. And it's like, you have to work your way up to that, and you have to have quality product, not just fast made product that you are going to be able to sell to people, because that's one thing that everybody wants. They don't want the cheapest.
I know, especially with this inflation. I don't know. People don't want to spend money.
Exactly.
And how can people contact you? Do you have a website?
We do have a website, but the easiest way to follow us is just through Instagram. I put on there every time that we're at a market or anything that way. So it's just Bruce Creations. I think it's just Bruce Creations. Anyways, it's got the picture like this on it. If you find that, then you know it. Other than that, it's brucecreationsut.com is the website but then you can just contact me, and if you want to order something from there or whatever, that way.
Perfect. Well, Leslie, thank you for chatting.
No problem.